Okay. Hey, good morning. Happy afternoon. Happy Monday. We're in manufacturing month. Hey, Damon, dude, like you're up there. Damon, how are you today?
I am great, Curt. This is crazy fun
Oh my
today.
God, dude! Like, look at the stage right now, man. This is
I
just
know.
absolutely insane. So let's go around the horn. So we
Yeah,
have a
let's do it.
special co-host that I'm going to pull in here. We've got our dear friend Jeff Long from True Focus Media out of Dayton, Ohio. Jeff, happy Monday, my friend. How are you, dude?
Happy Monday, Curt. I am honored to be on here
I gotta
and
figure
hear
that
the
out.
fine stories of this bus tour. I don't want to say anything else. I'll let everybody else talk about that, but I'm excited to
Oh,
be here.
so cool. And I don't know if you guys knew this. So this is Damon and I. Damon, it's kind of a romantic day for us, right? It's our third year anniversary on our little live show, and Jeff Long was our first live guest. So Jeff, thank you for joining us here
Yeah.
today. But man, are we excited? We are going a little magical mystery tour, throwing out a little Beatles reference, if you will. So I'm going to start with my dear friend, the one, the only, Dr. David Belay from IMEC. David, dude, it doesn't look like you're in your office. Where are you today?
No, I think we get to say this is the first time you've ever live streamed on a bus.
It is the
So we
first
are on
time.
a bus going across the state of Illinois, celebrating and championing manufacturing careers.
Well, how, dude, man, I got goosebumps already. We've got so much unpack. We got so much uncover. Hey, we've got our dear friend Mark Densler, Mark from the Illinois Manufacturers Association. Mark, good morning to you, my friend. How are you? Where are you? It doesn't look like you're in the office either.
Hey, Curt, thanks for having me. David, Jeff, it's great to see you. We are aboard Manufacturing One. That's what we're going to call the bus. We are Manufacturing One. We are
Manufacturing
rolling.
one.
We've just left Jacksonville. We're on the way to Peoria. And as Dave said, showcasing great manufacturing companies and showcasing great men and women who work in the manufacturing space.
Well, man, this is awesome. So, guys, happy Monday. Hey, we've got Diane Byers in the house today. Good morning,
All right.
Diane. I know she's at TAC. She's a big MEP fan. We've got Jason Deering. Jason works with a number of IMEC Illinois manufacturers. So, Jason, thank you for joining us. Guys, drop us a note. Let us know that you're here. And boy, are we going to have a fun time. So, all right, guys. Dr. David Belay, let's go to you, my friend. Let's start with, we're going to dig into the MEP. IMEC is the Manufacturing Extension Partnership Representative in the great state of Illinois. But dude, before I go there, why are you on a bus? Like, what's up? Who came up with this great bus idea? Where did this come from?
Well, I think I'm going to say the beginning of this bus idea is with my good friend Mark, and that started the idea. Then the combination of conversations built it to today, where we have this amazing partnership for 8 days together. Think about that. This group is allowing me to be on a bus with them for 8 days, and they're putting up with me. So I think that's really cool in its own right. But when you think about MEP, the Manufacturing Extension Partnership, the U.S. Department of Commerce program, and as you know, it's all about helping the small and mid-sized manufacturers in particular, and helping them with a wide range of knowledge, tools, and resources that they need to compete. And this bus tour is part of that story, because underneath all of that, as you know, it's about workforce, it's about talent, it's about skills. And so we're on this 8-day tour, championing the companies and the wide range of these companies. I know we'll get into some of that. And then championing and celebrating the careers that are in manufacturing of today and tomorrow. This is just way too much fun to be on this bus.
It's almost criminal, isn't it, David? Hey, Damon, we might have to call the Illinois State Troopers and check on these guys, because they might be getting a little too wound up. But hey, Mark, let's go here. So let's talk about the Illinois Manufacturers Association. Just, I know thus the name. I have a clear understanding of what you do, but just share with the folks who and what is IMA, how you guys make the world a better place, and just if you want to how you created this collaboration with IMEC.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. And so you're proud. Congratulations, your third anniversary. We are proudly celebrating our 130th anniversary.
Hey, we're right behind you. We're right behind you.
Yeah, you are
right behind you.
There.
I'm sorry, 130th. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
correct.
that's crazy cool.
Actually, coming up November 23rd will be 130 years. We were
Nice.
Founded, and we are the nation's oldest state manufacturing association. We're actually, as I like to joke, we're 18 months older than the National Association. And we represent about 4,000 member companies and facilities, from the Caterpillars, Boeings, and John Deere's down to, Reynolds, where we just left, and Mellow Cream Donuts this morning, which was a great way to start the morning with fresh donuts. But no, we just advocate on behalf of the manufacturing sector. As Dave said, we got our heads together last year and talked about how can we really showcase manufacturing. And we said, let's get a bus and let's wrap it. And we're on this statewide tour. And so just having a blast for our second annual Makers on the Move bus tour.
Wow, absolutely love it. So, all right, Dave, let's go here. So back, you mentioned the MEP, Department of Commerce. You threw a few things out there. So, and you and I were just partying together. We're hanging out, having a great time at the MEP annual conference in Buffalo. Just share with the folks, give them a high level view, like what is the MEP network as a whole? So for our friends that are coming to us outside of Illinois, there's definitely an MEP near them, but just share, what is that manufacturing extension partnership and how you guys help manufacturers nationwide?
So think of us, there's an IMEC in every state. We have a little different name and a different focus in some ways, but every single state, Puerto Rico, there is an organization waking up every day to provide these resources to the small, mid-sized manufacturers. And one way I like to describe it is like, these small companies, they're so busy, they've got a lot going on, and they need, let's say, an industrial engineer or a marketing expert, and yet they can't have that staff on, full time. And so we can come in and help bring that expertise from a variety of partners from our team to help make sure that the company can use the knowledge, transfer the knowledge of a industrial engineer or a marketing expert to help really supercharge their business. And that's what this is all about in our work, is that technical assistance in the work that we do. And you build off of that. It's like, how do we fit with an association? It's like hand in glove. One way I've described it with Mark along the way is you have an association and they're really focused on the outside of the four walls and policies and all the important things about championing manufacturing. We're inside the four walls helping that company be more competitive. And when you put the two together, it's a powerful, powerful theme for any state, any region for their manufacturing competitiveness.
Yeah, dude, what a great way to put it. So from the internal side that IMEC covers and the outside that Mark covers, that is just such a powerful, analogy. Let's go here, Mark. Let's talk about, hey, are we losing? Did we lose Mark? Or is that me?
No, I
have lost
him.
I think we did. There we go. See, we said as soon as we go live, it's going to happen.
Hey, it always happens. So hey, there we go. Mark will come back to us in 1 minute.
Yeah, he'll come back in.
Yeah. Damon, what do you think about this whole? I know we interview MEPs all the time. We just interviewed Carol Thomas, Dave.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Carol Thomas on Friday. So Damon, what's your takeaway on MEPs and just, we were up at the Alaska MEP a few months ago.
Yeah.
What's your takeaway?
I just think it's great what you guys are doing, David. You and Mark out there visiting manufacturers and listen to the people's story. And then I can imagine the bus driving through Illinois and the communities and people seeing, hey, what's that? What's going on? Just stopping to get gas, getting some coffee, whatever you guys are doing is so cool, because so many people, manufacturing is around us every second of every day, and not many people think of it. And I think this is just a great way to get it out there. Plus the camaraderie that you're building between your team, the manufacturers you're visiting, and the people that you're helping. It just got to help it. I'm so excited about this. So excited. Yeah.
David, picking up on that, think of the billboard that was going around the state. We're doing over 2,500 miles. Yeah. We have this billboard, a skin on the bus that say Makers on the Move. And what is really fun is that at each stop, people get to sign the bus.
Yeah.
So everyone is signing the bus, putting their name on it, and it's really just creating this energy around all of the people thinking about manufacturing and the importance that it brings to our communities.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dave, I have a couple questions here. So first off, now you mentioned, I heard donuts this morning, barbecue sauce. I've heard brewery. Like who plotted the schedule? I'm just curious. Minds want to know. I'm curious who plotted this.
Yeah, you can guess which ones Boulay picked, right? You selected those.
That's right.
But we are really doing a wide range of manufacturing, from size, from sector, all different types in the whole state. We started in the southern part of the state. We'll end up near Chicago. So we started at Boeing with an autonomous refueling aircraft. We did the 17th Street barbecue at a bottling plant for barbecue sauce, a ribbon cutting. donuts, brooms, reactors.
Wow.
When you look at all that we're going to cover over the week, we're going to have a full range of everything manufacturing in Illinois. Give a real, I'll say taste, since you picked on the food and beverage places, but we'll have a real taste of what is manufacturing about in this state.
Yeah, I love it. And I've got the schedule, and I dropped the schedule and the link. So guys, drop in, go into the comments. You can just click the link and you can see Makers on the Move. They have a dedicated website. They're on their way to Peoria right now, and just a really exciting lineup. And so, Dave, let's go here. I've talked to a number of your teammates. I tell you, IMEC has just an amazing team. I've talked to John Azara, Melissa Bassa, Melissa Zerbel. I talked with her this morning, Jacqueline. They're all super excited, and like they've got their spots and stops that they're going to be hitting. So just let's talk about just the amazing IMEC team. I think you're 50-ish strong. Just when a manufacturer engages with IMEC, just share a little bit of the insight of what they can expect or what that looks like working with your team.
Yeah, I think this day and age, and particularly coming out of the pandemic and all the bumps and bruises that have been going on, the couple of things that I really enjoy about the team. The first one is the empathy. Leaders have been just having a tough time. When I walk into companies, I just see some leaders pretty exhausted. It's been a rough ride of trying to navigate successfully what's been going on. So what I really enjoy about our team is they've been there, done that. They've been in manufacturing. They have the empathy of that and understanding it. And then they focus on meeting where the company is. So wherever the company is, we're going to find the right solution. So if it's this is a completely new topic for the company. So many companies, cybersecurity is a new topic. We meet them right at the beginning, right? But then others, it's like, hey, we want to step up our game a little bit. We bring an A game. We want to step it up a little higher. And our team can do a fantastic job of doing either the analytics, the assessment, what it takes to make sure that we're meeting the companies where they're at. I think that empathy and that meet them where they're at, that's what I really enjoy about what the team brings each and every day.
Well, I love it. And at the annual MEP conference, I know, my gosh, I felt like every session I was walking into, somebody from IMEC was on stage doing a presentation, just about every other one. And so, I've had the honor and privilege of becoming good friends with your team. I can't express my gratitude. Jeff Long, I know you've done a number of webinars at IMEC. You've done a bunch of education programs. Just share a little bit about like your experience, your takeaway working with MEPs and what you hear or see from manufacturers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when I first kind of heard of MEPs several years ago, it was kind of like, really? Like, that's a really cool idea. And obviously it's been around for many years. So I'm here in Ohio, and, there's several MEPs here in the Ohio area. So yeah, being on these webinars that I've been, graciously invited to be on with IMEC and several others, it's just been really fun to, help teach what I've learned in the past 20 years of doing what I do, but also getting a lot of the feedback and some of the really good questions. Like, okay, Jeff, how can I implement this marketing strategy in our business? Because manufacturing is unique, right? It's not a cookie cutter, one size fits all. It's a very unique business that's unique individually as well. So I've been, blessed like you, Curt and Damon, to be, a part of the MEP network.
Yeah. So let's go here. Mark, how are you? You're back online with us. You're feeling good. You're doing good.
Everything is good. We're still rolling.
We're rock and rolling. So I'm going to chime into my previous question. So community, man, community is so critical. And I believe, part of your mission, one of the big things about the Illinois Manufacturers Association is education. Can you talk about how important it is at, building that community? Like Dave just said, manufacturers, they're tired, man. It's lonely. They're in the trenches all day. How important is it to be a part of an association like yours? Did we lose him again?
Yeah. And the value of an association. Yeah. The value of an association is we speak with one voice. And you're exactly right that when you get, and 3/4 of our members are 250 or fewer. And so, that plant manager, or that owner, or that CFO, sometimes they think they're all by themselves and they're the only company dealing with this problem. And so it's helpful to them to talk to other leaders and share those experiences. And then we're a hand in glove with IMEC. When we get a small company or mid-sized company that are struggling with the challenge, guess what? We introduced them to Dave and IMEC. to help them provide and find a solution and be successful. And, you know, at the end of the day, we want to grow manufacturers in Illinois. We want to increase the number of jobs and capital investment. And that's the importance of working with an association, the importance of working with an organization like IMEC.
Yeah, I love that. So Dave, let's come back to you, my friend. So let's talk about, I want to share with folks like the rest of the week that you've got going on. Again, I've dropped a schedule in the chat box, but you've mentioned Boeing. We've talked about some of the food products. You guys were you're hitting universities. Just share a little bit about like what else is coming up. And I know you're ending in Chicago. So what's coming up the rest of the week?
All right, I'm going to pick one, and then Mark, you pick one. What I'm looking forward to, because I've been there, it's a company called Freudenberg, and they make brooms. And the reason I really enjoy this company, you think of broom manufacturing and mops, some other things, they are on an amazing journey of reshoring 100% to the United States, to Aurora, Illinois, because of the workforce, because of their investment in automation. It is just an incredible story. Again, I've been able to visit there and see that. And I think it's going to just highlight the realities of what is going on in manufacturing and reshoring. So, you know, I would obviously say the breweries and distilleries would be my favorite places, but I figure I'll just go with a little reshoring story in the mix. Mark, what one would you pick?
Well, it's kind of like picking your favorite child.
Good point.
Yeah, you're afraid to say which one.
Yeah.
Mark's cutting out a little bit.
Yeah, and he might have cut out. So Dave, let's go here for a minute. So I'm looking at that Freudenberg right now. So they do household products like brooms and what have you. What's like, let's talk about reshoring for a minute. Okay. Like, you know, even pre-COVID, you know, there was starting to be a little bit of momentum about like that manufacturing renaissance in the United States and reshoring. COVID just really, you know, I'm sorry to say this, if there was a silver lining in COVID at all, it really showed how important that supply chain is and trying to, be focused on that. Talk a little bit about, like, from your perspective at IMEC, like onshoring, reshoring, the renaissance. What's it look like from your perspective?
You know, I was hearing about reshoring for like a decade, but I never saw it. Like, I was like, okay, where is it? Like, I walk into plants and not really see it. To your point about the pandemic, and then let's layer on the geopolitics of today. And I am walking into facilities and I'm sitting, and it's really like, no, we've already reshored it. Like, it is happening. We are moving forward. And there's so much conversation that we're doing. We launched a supply chain center, and that supply chain center is part of the CHIPS Act to help really tighten up localized supply chains. And we have examples of companies coming in and saying, we want to localize our supply chain to a 3-hour radius of our site. And we want to work through in detail of how that's going to work. So to note that the realities are coming through on reshoring is, I think, an exciting time. There's a lot of, things to work through, headaches to figure out, challenges. But I think we've got about an 8 or 10 year window where manufacturing is going to completely reshape. And I think it's going to be incredibly exciting.
Yeah. Go ahead, David.
The way the MEPs, I think there's one of the things I've heard when Carol was talking about and other MEPs we've talked about just getting all of our smaller manufacturers listed with the MEPs. What do we make? What are we doing? Because it's like, Curt, like you always like to say, you got to stop being the best kept secret. And I think the MEPs are going to be the hub of every manufacturer that's making anything in the United States, so that we can reshore. Because half the problem is, who knows who makes rolled pins within 50 miles of you, but it could be somebody right across the town and you don't even know about them, because it's 20 people that are sitting there knocking out the best ones in the world. They're just doing their thing, and they could be helping you. And we don't know that right now. And I think part of that is going to be awesome how the MEPs can put that together.
I think that's part of the story, Damon. And the other part I'll add is the helping the manufacturers prepare for the reshoring. So, I call it supplier development, but the ability to bring in the automation, to reskill, to be prepared for whatever the opportunities are. I know Mark has helped champion some topics and areas as the automotive industry is transitioning to EV. And we're working on helping suppliers start thinking through about the risk profile that brings for them. And then with that risk profile, what does it look like for your future and how can you adjust? So for example, simple example, internal combustion engines, right? They're not in the electric vehicles. So as we think about making a part of an internal combustion engine, you're going to have to think about what the part might be like in the future, because that part's probably going to decline over time. So I think that's part of it, is where are they and how do we help elevate it and then help prepare and develop for the opportunities ahead.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And Mark, how
Yeah.
we doing? You back with us now?
I am good. I'm sorry you'd asked my favorite stop, and I said it's like your favorite child. You know, they all are. But, you know, we started, as Dave said, at Boeing, and we had some great barbecue at 17th Street, 40 Below Joe, where they freeze the stuff at 320 below in liquid nitrogen. So, you know, the founder of Dippin' Dots has created 40 Below Joe. We stopped there. We had Mellow Cream Donuts. But coming up, Line Electric is one. Electric school buses and electric trucks. Nice. Canadian company, but their first U.S. factory is in Joliet, Illinois, 1,400 workers. And they're going to let us, believe it or not, Dave and I are going to get to drive school buses and trucks that are all electric. And when you think of the technology and what manufacturers do, we don't only use the technology, we create the technology. And so, you know, to see electric battery technology in these huge buses and trucks, I think is good.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool how that's going to change those industries. And you already see it like with Amazon and some other companies really adopting the electric delivery vehicles, and Tesla with their long range semis. It's really promising.
It is.
Yeah. So Dave, let's go here. So we always love to say in a program, you're like, hey, why are all the cool kids going into manufacturing? As a matter of fact, our dear friend Nancy O'Leary, she's like, hey, what a fantastic event. She is a fierce advocate. She's doing a wonderful program this month. It's called Manufacturing Mavericks. She is where they're celebrating a Gen Zer that's choosing a career in manufacturing, and Custom Direct is like featuring and showcasing that young person every single day. She's coming on the show 2 weeks from today. We're going to be just highlighting a bunch of the folks that were on her program.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go here. Like, you know, a lot of times we hear, you know, boy, automation is going to take away manufacturing jobs. Manufacturing's down, you know, dirty, this, that, the other thing. Why are all the cool kids, or if they're not, why should they be considering a career in manufacturing?
Look at where the jobs are going. Look at the type of jobs that are creating. And part of my messaging on this tour, I've actually been pulling off of the IMA's 130-year tradition. And I talk about what would have been like the skills that were needed 130 years ago. So we're talking blacksmiths, arkwrights, millers, right? We're talking about jobs that don't exist today. In fact, there was no assembly line then when the IMA started.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And then I talk about the jobs of today, you know, the quality technicians, the CNC operators. And then I mention the jobs that are coming like very soon, the energy storage technician, the digital manufacturing analyst, the additive manufacturing technician. These skills, the talents that are coming, the opportunities that are there. This is perhaps the most exciting career to be in when you start thinking about how automation is layering in all of these companies. To go into a donut manufacturing, and one of the first things that I talk with the leadership about is how they're investing in automation. I think gives you a hint of just how exciting the opportunity and careers, why the cool kids want to be there, because automation and you can make donuts too.
Right. And Dave, you would be very proud. As a matter of fact, I need to cut out the clip and send it to you. So we had a fun interview on Friday celebrating Manufacturing Day with a client of IMEC. And Jacqueline, it was one of Jacqueline's, Kaloje. I've given a big shout out to Jacqueline Kaloje out there. And it was one of her clients she works closely with, and it's Advantage Components and in Juliet, and just wonderful, wonderful manufacturer, just, you know, true blue Illinois manufacturer, founded in 1997, going on 27 years. Kevin O'Sullivan, great Irish guy. And just, we had a great conversation with Kevin. And I asked Kevin, what inspired you, or what was happening that triggered, I need help, that I have to raise my hand, and you pulled IMEC in? And dude, you've got to listen to we got Jacqueline and I, Damon, all three of us, we got goosebumps just listening to it. And he was just like, I looked on the floor and I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm paraphrasing. And he was like, I knew I had to raise my hand. I needed help. Your team came in, and this was like, what, Damon, like 9 years ago or 10 years ago?
Oh yeah. It was a long time ago. They started helping, and they've continued on with different things. It's so cool.
And kept coming back. So just, you know, talk about that opportunity for a manufacturer. Like, you know, this was an example of this guy needed help. Just can you just, and you're sharing all these wonderful stories, give us some examples, or like, can you just dig into like when you guys come in, what that looks like helping that manufacturer?
Yeah, I'll build off of something I said earlier. You know, the team that we have, like Jacqueline and others, been there, done that, right? That empathy plays out. So when we get those kind of calls that I'm not sure where to turn, where do I get the expertise? I've got a busy work week, and what do I get? How am I going to get it all done? That our ability to sit in and have that conversation, I think, is again step one to our work. But to take a company like Advantage, the other part that I really admire and I think is vital from an MEP standpoint is we do it in a way that we transfer the knowledge so we're no longer needed. So you have a 9-year relationship with a company, but I will tell you today, the things we're working on with Advantage are not the things we were working on 9 years ago, right? But the things that we were working on 9 years ago, they've instilled in their culture. They've instilled in their work practices. It's been quite a few years since I've been there. Probably need to get back and visit, but to see kind of that transfer of knowledge, making sure that it stays with the company so that we can move on to the next thing. Because as you know, there's so much going on with small businesses and the needs that we can't just stay focused on the same thing. We've got to make sure we're bringing the next solution so the company can be competitive, be successful.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And you'll love this. They had 3 folks. It was the owner and sales manager and marketing manager. The marketing manager was in a different position. She'd been with the company for 9 years, young woman, and she's building her career at a small manufacturer. And she got promoted to the marketing manager and 7 months ago. And so now she's been rocking it. Jacqueline is by her side, exactly as you're describing. You guys started with lean. You've come in and helped multiple different ways over 9 years. And now you're helping from a marketing standpoint. It's just so awesome. And they were just singing your praises. Mark, let's come back to you, my friend. 100. So this company that we're talking about, 27 years, 130 years of Illinois Manufacturers Association.
Amazing.
Dude, first off, you look fantastic for 130 years.
Yeah.
I gotta say, dude, you look amazing. What do you contribute to your success? What do you contribute to 130
well, back
years
when I
success?
served with it was fun hanging out with. Well, it was really fun hanging out with Abe Lincoln about a while back too. I think it is, you know.
We keep, it's like a cliffhanger, it's like we're doing
it's like leaves us right there.
We got to come back and hang out, right? So maybe he'll come back. All right, man. I'd like, and just as soon as we ask him a question is when he cuts out.
That's why
next time I'm not going to wait. We're going to hit him as soon as
we're going to hit him right away.
Yeah,
he starts with the perfect comment. Then he has the mic drop.
He has the mic drop.
He's really got.
He's got it down.
And then he just vanishes. Dave, let's go here. I'm going to give a shout out for any of our friends listening to. I'm saying this, man, from the bottom of my heart. I love your team. I've built wonderful relationships. Just had a great call with Melissa Zerbel this morning. We mentioned Jacqueline, Melissa Bassa, Ray Zagano, Stacy, Jordan, Cameron, Eric, John Azara, Cassie, Noah, Michelle Fawcett, man, I can't forget Michelle, Mary, Amanda, Christy Johns. We could go on and on and on. Please forgive me if I'm leaving anybody out. Dave, just how have you put together just this really all-star? They're just so passionate for helping manufacturers. How have you put this team together?
Yeah, thank you, Curt. And it is an amazing team, and I feel spoiled each and every day. 55 people or so that are tied to our mission. And I strongly believe that the reason that we've built this team is the way we focus on our core values. And we start with hiring to our core values. We focus on everything that's passion in the mission, right? That's number one. If you can't get past that one, you're not even getting into the second interview. Then we look at collaboration. We talk about integrity. We talk about learning. All the features of our core values that I think just builds this energy around the team. That in many ways I feel like they're just unstoppable. Like I see things going on like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Didn't see that coming. And it's because of that team's energy that's really exciting. But it starts higher to the core values. That's number one.
There she is. Hey, there's Amanda right there, best team on the planet. Amanda,
Hey.
and I didn't mention Dave Musgrave, and I know I'm sure I'm leaving some people out, so please forgive me anybody I'm leaving out. Mark, we got to get you on here. 130 years, how'd you do it?
Yeah, Dave, quit kicking me off the Wi-Fi, would you? I tell you, he wants to hog the spotlight. No,
that's right. He's like, he's back there cutting it.
Yeah, I think manufacturers want to work together. And Illinois has a proud manufacturing history. One of the largest manufacturing states in the country. And one of the great things about Illinois is how IMA and IMEC work together. Not all states do this. Not all state associations and their MEP work together. And so I think the fact that companies come to us looking for answers, we are really on policy and regulation focused in Springfield or Washington or locally. But when they come to us with a problem, we can find that solution. A lot of times it's calling Dave and the great IMEC team for them to come in. And so I think we've survived because we have great products. We have great customer service. And again, experts at IMEC that we work together. So when they do have a problem or they have a challenge, they know they're not alone. And what can we do to help them? And that's what manufacturers do every day for our country, right? They figure out a problem, whether it's a new life-saving medicine or a new airplane or a new vehicle. And that's what manufacturers do every day. That's what's so cool about representing this sector, are seeing all the cool things, all the people that are so proud of what they do, and moving our nation forward. As I say, manufacturing makes the world a better place to live every single day. And we're so blessed, all of us on this call, we get to see that every day when we go into manufacturing facilities and see all the cool technologies and new stuff that allows us at least sometimes to do a Zoom or do a live feed on a bus rolling down the interstate. And most of the time it works if Dave would stop kicking me off.
Well, hey, since it's working right now, let's stick with you for let's stick with you for a minute, Dave. So, all right, 130 years, absolutely love it. 4,000 manufacturers at the Illinois Manufacturers Association. Boy, that is nothing. That is a massive accomplishment. I mean, I don't know if you ever take a stop and pause and pat yourself on the back. How do you keep your foot on the pedal? How do you stop? Never be complacent. How do you maintain that level of trust and confidence in 4,000 members for that length of time?
We are very blessed. Now, our retention rate's 97%. The association average is 88%. And so if you provide valuable information, email communications, seminars, programs, and you get results. So new manufacturing academies are an idea the IMA initiated. We got passed in Illinois, or apprenticeship programs. And so they see the value because, look, associations sell blue sky in many ways. I'm selling you a car or a baseball bat. I'm selling you services. And so we have a great team, and we're in manufacturing facility every day, but you have to provide that value. And so tours like Makers on the Move, we run a great program called Makers Madness, the coolest thing made in Illinois. We get 300,000 votes a year to determine the coolest thing made in Illinois. We've now done that 4 years in a row. And so manufacturers see us out advocating. We're the front lines. We're the point of the spear. And we're standing side by side with Dave and his team and other great associations and companies in the state. And look, we all want to succeed. Illinois has a lot of great attributes going, but we want to be the best state to manufacture in the United States. And I think we're well on our way there.
Well, I love the passion. And earlier you mentioned a teammate of yours, Sarah. I know, I believe her title is education is right in her title. So what I'm hearing is that education piece and trying to stay in the forefront. How do you as I lost him. I'll save that question. Dave, I'll come back to you. So I have the honor and privilege working with Jordan and Cameron and your market and Eric and Christy and the marketing team on providing webinars with guys like Damon, Jeff Long, Wesleyan, who you met, Nicole, all sorts of other folks. How do you guys stay on the cutting edge of providing those education pieces, or how do you stay in the know of what do manufacturers long for? What do they need today to help them stay innovative and ahead of the curve?
Listen, first of all, listen to the manufacturers, right? They will guide us if we listen, right? And really hearing it. So don't be the hammer looking for the nail, but listen. And then, and I think the team just does a phenomenal job of that listening. And then from that, building out the expertise. So we're not shy to say we don't know all the answers, right? We, as the IMEC team, that's why we partner with folks like yourself and others, because we know the expertise is out there, and let's just get the right result for the right people. I think that's vital. So as we look at what's coming, the skills of the future and so on, I know the team is working on how do we help develop the talent or skills or the resources and tools for these skills of the future. And that's part of it. It comes right back to, it starts with listening to where the needs are, listening to where the gaps are. From that, start asking the questions. Another one I'll mention is ESG as a topic, environmental social governance. We're hearing more and more about that, and the team's working on it. Say, okay, how do we make that relevant for small and mid-sized manufacturers? And so that's the talent of the team doing its great work.
Yeah, I love it. Mark, we were just talking about team, and I believe Sarah's on your team, and rating her title is education. How do you guys stay on the forefront, cutting edge of like education, innovation, having those topics that your membership wants to hear and stay on the cutting edge?
I tell you, that's the most important thing. We hear it from manufacturers, large and small, is workforce development, finding skilled workers. When my dad worked at the old Staley manufacturing company in Decatur, and the skills that you need today are far different. And so I think, as Dave said, listen, what do they need and how can we meet that? When you talk to enough companies, you figure out trends and you figure out where they're going, and as Dave says, the skills needed 130 years ago when we were founded are far different today. And we're really trying to figure out what the job skills are in 5 years, because we're advancing so quickly. But when you're in factories every day and facilities like Dave's team is and the IMA team is, then you kind of figure out where they're going and you help them get there. And as you said, we don't have all the answers, but some of the crazy cool stuff, TCCI in Decatur, for example, they're partnering with Richland Community College. They're building a climactic center, but they're bringing the college in and creating a workforce space for the college in their facility. And that's a model that really hasn't been tried elsewhere. And we see that around the state, where manufacturers are really doing some innovative things when it comes to education and workforce. And we have a community college president on our board because of the importance of that relationship. And so, again, workers and kids can get out of high school today. They probably need a little additional training, don't always need a 4-year degree, but we listen to what their needs are and we help them find solutions. And the IMA and IMEC are both part of that.
Yeah,
so cool.
That's fantastic. And we hear it time and time again, Damon, on the show, where people are giving, I think Nancy gave us some examples. We've had multiple guests on the program from MEPs talking about, kids, college age kids, high school, and earning a trade and picking up a 6-figure opportunity where they don't have to have, we're not discouraging anybody from getting a 4-year degree. But, if you're a little bit challenged on, hey, do I want to walk out with hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, or could I start my career? There's great options here. So,
well,
Jeff,
and let me give you 2 quick stories real quick.
Yeah, please.
So we just left Reynolds. There was a lady there who talked about how the company paid for her to go back to get her associate's degree. Now her bachelor's. Her son is a disabled veteran. Came back, wanted a job. He now works at Reynolds. And one of the facilities we're going to in Peoria, they primarily use disabled workers. Last year, we were at Macon Resources in Decatur. They make all the state's license plates. We're one of 2 states where inmates don't make them, but 80% of their workers are disabled. And so that's the promise of manufacturing. You could be the young person, the returning veteran, the ex-offender, someone who has a disability. There's a place for you in manufacturing.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a drop the mic right there, man. There's a place for you in manufacturing. And that, what? That's who did we interviewed somebody and we're like, so Mark, we're always promoting women in manufacturing, diversity in manufacturing. And we had somebody on the program that said, what? It's not women in manufacturing. It's not diversity in manufacturing. It's everybody is could go into manufacturing. There's something for everyone. And, I know working with MEPs, they're helping with ERP systems. Dave, you mentioned additive manufacturing, automation. We've talked about marketing. We talk about that a lot on our show. Lean, operational excellence, leadership. There's just so many aspects that people can come in and just elevate their careers. It's just so exciting with this renaissance and this renovation. Jeff Long, and let's get you back in the program. Any takeaways, thoughts? What's going through your mind hearing everything on the bus today?
Yeah, I mean, I love this. This is so exciting. And it's really interesting. I just finished a 25-hour audiobook on the city of Chicago, like the start of it.
Nice.
I forget where it ended off, but I feel, I don't know, like an adopted Chicagoan after reading that book and just hearing the stories of manufacturing and seeing how far it's come in so many ways. So I'm just curious, obviously, everybody knows Chicago, but talk about some other pockets of industry in the state that that maybe people aren't aware of, whether it's certain towns or cities that are doing some pretty remarkable things besides the obvious Chicago?
Yeah, great question.
I'll start us off, Mark.
I'll throw it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'll throw really quickly too. So Lake County, north of Chicago, has a huge biopharmaceutical sector, and so companies like Abbott and AbbVie are large, but they've really created a cluster around that. And then second, and we'll be there tomorrow, I think, or Wednesday, is Rockford in the aerospace sector that is growing up there. Are both very crazy, cool stuff that's being made, life-saving products, products that provide for our nation's defense. So both of those communities, and in my hometown of Decatur as well, huge agricultural, food, processing, manufacturing. Sorry, Dave, back to you.
No, and really just building on what Mark is saying. You take Cook County, like Chicago, Cook County area, and over 5,000, 6,000 manufacturers. It's a massive manufacturing county. It's got the zip code of Elk Grove Village, one of the most manufacturing zip codes in the United States. And then you go to these rural communities and the locally owned small manufacturers, the Mellow Creams, the others that are the bedrocks of these communities. What I really enjoy about manufacturing in Illinois is we have all of that. Mark highlighted some examples in these communities. And even going to, I think of a place like Nokomis. I don't know how many people live in Nokomis, Mark, but a couple hundred. And there's one or two manufacturers there that are the lifeblood of that economy. And it's that kind of breadth and depth of manufacturing that we have in Illinois. That's just exciting.
Yeah,
this is phenomenal. And that's, the thing is, the manufacturers are truly the heroes of our economy. They're the backbone. And so, Jeff, that was a fantastic question. I love that. And so, you have the clusters of the urban areas, but when you do get in those smaller rural areas, I mean, that might be, the main employer for that community. And the cool thing is, like, this manufacturer, when you strip it down, it's like they're not just providing jobs. These are families. These are soccer lessons and piano lessons and like graduations and weddings. And like, it's, building a whole community. And that's what we've been really, the theme, Mark, is we've been talking about, like, what a great job. I'm not familiar with, and I have a really dumb, ignorant question. Like, I'm just so blown away by the success of the IMA. Like, I know there's a lot of like regional manufacturers associations. Are there, like, do most states have like a full statewide? I know, like, here in New York, like it's very divided up. Do most states have like a full statewide manufacturers association like Illinois?
It's really a split. So particularly in the industrial Midwest, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan do. Some are just chambers of commerce. So New York, for example, or Florida or California. So it's a mix, but even states that have just a chamber of commerce, like a Minnesota or Wisconsin, they have a manufacturing vertical within their chamber of commerce, because of the importance. And again, particularly in the industrial Midwest, where I think Indiana, our neighbor to the east, I think 27% of their economy is manufacturing. They're the single highest percentage. While we have a bigger output here, and we're obviously better than Indiana, and we all know that. And I'm going to make sure I send that to my buddy Brian, but no, and then we work together because a lot of these manufacturers in these ecosystems are regional, as we know, and so when we're going to get the new battery factory coming in Kankakee, they're going to have suppliers from across the Midwest. And you see that whether you're aerospace or auto, these supply chains don't exist solely within one state. And so they are regional and national in nature.
Right. All right. Fantastic. Yeah. All right. Damon, I told you this was going to be a great program here, man. Just trying to, just the only thing better if we were on the bus eating
on the bus,
barbecue and all this other stuff. So, Dave, we'll have to get together next time. Dave, we'll start. I'm going to be mindful of your time. I know you've got a busload of people that are waiting for your attention and more manufacturers. Again, guys, we're here with Dave Belay, Dr. Dave Belay from IMEC. That's the Illinois Manufacturing Extension Partnership. We have Mark Denzler from IMA. That's the Illinois Manufacturers Association. They are just doing an amazing PR tour, just shining a bright light and just the awesomeness of manufacturing here, not just for the state of Illinois, nationwide. And so, first off, we congratulate you guys. We commend you guys. You're away from your families. And so this, and I know I won't use the word sacrifice, but we appreciate your hard work and dedication, for this wonderful program. Now, Mark, you mentioned some of the places you're going to. So you're going to Rockford, Lake Zurich. Looks like you're going to Aurora. You're ending up, let's see, I've got Coal City, Elk Grove. Dave, you just mentioned that. So a lot more on the horizon. You guys are gonna be posting all over on social. Dave, let's go here as we start winding down. What are you? This might be the dumbest question of the day. Why are you so excited about manufacturing moving forward? What are you looking forward to on your end? Now we got Mark. Hey, Mark, did I say Dave? I'm going to say Mark. Mark, what are you?
Yeah.
There you go.
Dave finally
All
closed. Okay. Mark, what are you looking forward to with manufacturing moving forward?
Well, again, the promise of manufacturing, what it means for America, what it means for Illinois, and what it means for families that are in manufacturing. You know, I'm so proud to represent this sector. Dave is as well. And to see the cool innovations. When you think of Illinois, and again, a proud state, but, you know, the Red Salvation Army kettles are made here, White House China, NFL football helmets, baseball bats, automobiles, airplanes, and to see what that next generation is going to be. And, you know, products that we don't even imagine. You know, when the IMA was founded, right, we didn't have space travel. We didn't have airplane travel. And how fast this technology is moving forward. It's just so impressive to see the men and women and the cool things they make. And this is fun. We do it in a fun way. And again, appreciate the opportunity to talk to all of you today. And again, makersonthemove.org. Folks that are out there, and I know, thank you for publishing, stop these events. These are open to the public, hit a reception at night, or we do a breakfast in the morning. We'd love to see all of you out here on the tour, and we'll see you guys next year actually on the bus, it sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Dave, welcome back, my friend. So, again, might be a bad, dumb question on my part, but what are you so excited? What is just super exciting on the horizon for you, for U.S. manufacturing? What are you super fired up about?
This is a game-changing decade. I mentioned that earlier. You know, what is going on with manufacturing? Here is another moment, right? And you can look at moments of time in manufacturing. This is one, right? The reshoring, what's going on with automation, what's going on with skills, workforce skills, and my personal passion. So I grew up in a family-owned business. I had the opportunity to work for some large food companies, and I got to see, you know, not good or bad, just the differences of what the large companies bring and what the small companies bring. So our mission, that MEP mission, being able to bring that expertise to the table for the small companies so that they can be a part of this change, be really embracing what's happening. That's the stuff that gets me going, waking me up every day and wanting to just make that big difference. And this tour, this is like, I mean, it's tiring, like no doubt by Friday evening, Mark will have had enough of me on the bus and I'll be sitting at home by myself with a martini, but it is energizing. This is an energizing week by all accounts, and just really enjoying every moment of it.
Awesome.
Well, I love it. And today, let's see, you guys are on your way here. You're on your way to Peoria right now. Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
So you got Peoria Production Solutions, and then you're hitting the Rust Belt in East Moline. And so just super exciting. All right, let's do this, guys. I've got one last question for you. Are you guys sitting down? Are you ready for this one? Damon, I'm going there. Are you guys ready for this one?
Let's do it.
So,
we have to.
If you're from the great state of Illinois, if you're from the great state of Illinois, you guys, you're in a league of your own, by the way. So, baseball fans, are you guys baseball fans by any chance? Mark, you a baseball fan?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you North Side Chicago, South Side Chicago, St. Louis? I know you got like 3 teams that you might root for if you're in the state of Illinois. Who are you rooting for?
Well, actually, I'm going to throw you a curveball. I am a Kansas City Royals fan.
You're a Royals fan.
There you go.
All right. Hey, that's okay. Good for you, man. George Brett, right? Dr. Dave Belay.
George Brett's my all-time favorite player.
George Brett, Dave Belay is a New York guy. So, Dave, where are you coming? Where do you have a team? Do you have any loyalty anywhere? What do you got there?
Given this year, I hope Mark kicks me off the Wi-Fi just as I give you my answer. But I'm a Yankees guy. Grew up as a big Yankees fan.
Well, I'm right there with you, brother. So let's go here, guys. All right, it's 1978. And the Yankees are playing Kansas City Royals in a playoff game, and I think George Brett might have a bat with a little tar in it, right? I'm just kidding, Mark. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, Mark, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to start with Mark. All right. So, Mark, let's pretend. All right. So the Kansas City Royals are playing the Yankees. It's a bottom of the 9th home game. It's bottom of the 9th. And let's see, Frank White, the second baseman. Do I have that one right? Frank White, the second baseman of the Royals, is on second base. It's a bottom of the 9th. There's 2 outs. Frank White is on second base. Okay. Now, I can't even remember the manager. The manager looks down the bench and says, "Hey, Denzler, get up to the plate and hit in this winning run, dude. Like, I've got dinner reservations. We need this game to end. Can you please walk up to the plate, hit in Frank White so we get the winning run in?" Okay, you with me?
Yep.
As Mark Denzler grabs the bat, not George Brett's, another bat, grabs the bat and walks up to the plate to hit into that winning run. What is your walk-up song?
Well, first I'm going to grab a dinger bat that's made in Southern Illinois, right? So
there you go.
Right.
And then probably Bad to the Bone.
Bad to the Bone. Damon, that's a little George Thorogood. That's right.
That's a good one.
So Dave Belay, we'll say Willie Randolph is on second. It's a bottom of the ninth. And they're like, we can't have Greg Nuttles come up and hit the ball. We need Dave Belay to come up and hit the ball. Dave Belay, what is your walk-up song in that scenario, please?
Wow. And I've even had some time to prep, and I'm at a loss here. And I'm not going with like Islands in the Stream or anything like that. Am I allowed to get back to you on this one?
Yeah, you let us know on that one.
Think about it.
Hey, for the record,
look, if they're playing the Royals, it's probably another one bites the dust because they're going to lose. So
yeah, there you go.
You know what, Mark, you're reading my mind because Dave Belay, we had your friends with Carol Thomas. We had Carol on the program Friday. We asked Carol Thomas, what a gem. She's a treasure. And we asked her the exact same question, and she's a Yankee fan as well. And she said, Queen, we are the champions, right, Damon? We are, So
without
without
a hesitation.
Yeah, without even blinking the eye. She was like,
boom.
"Oh, well, I'd go with Queen." And what was Kevin at advantage? I think he went with a Led Zeppelin song. So anyway, right.
Now I just hope Don Denkinger is the umpire at first base during this.
Okay. Wow, perfect, man. So hey, those were heated battles back in that time.
Yeah.
So. All right, so let's go here. So guys, thank you. And Mark,
Thanks
now your Wi-Fi is working perfect, dude.
It is absolutely. Finally I had to get Dave and tell him to be nice to me. So we're rocking and rolling.
Turning me on.
Well, first off, so Damon, takeaways, thoughts, your takeaway from this wonderful tour today.
I just think it's so awesome that you guys are out there doing that, visiting those manufacturers, listening to the stories, letting people sign the bus, doing what you're doing from the Illinois Manufacturers Association and IMEC, the MEP partnership in Illinois there. It's just so great that you're out there to be able to drive. What the heck is it, Dave? You got to drive 2,500 miles or something like that around Illinois and see all these places and meet all these people and share the message in that huge billboard you got rolling down the road. So cool.
It's awesome.
So cool.
Jeff Long, takeaways, thoughts. What's your takeaway from today?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it warms my heart to see the momentum and the excitement, and it makes me, when I focused on working with manufacturers exclusively several years ago, it was because of this, right? The momentum, the excitement, the people, right? There's lots of industries, lots of different things, but like manufacturing, there's something special about it. And I love the creativity of this bus tour, first of all, and that you're bringing, added exposure to these big companies, small companies, and everywhere in between, especially in your state.
Yeah, everywhere in between. I absolutely love it. And guys, if you look at the tour, they're covering from the whole state, and that is one big state. Mark, any last words of wisdom, any parting thoughts, anything that you want to share with folks today?
It is I would just say, as Dave echoed, it's a manufacturing super cycle. I'm excited to see what's going to happen, and come out and follow us on social media. Come out to a stop, and we thank all the first think of all you guys, but think the manufacturers. It's Manufacturing Month, and again, everything they do is amazing, and we're just look forward to keep rolling across the state the next few days.
Yeah. And hey, and we've got Diane's dropping some great comments here. Manufacturing moving forward. She says possibilities and solutions, what future generations will make in manufacturing. Jason says, hey, this has been a fun conversation. Thank you. MEPs rock. So on that note, Dave Belay, any parting words, words of wisdom, anything that you want to share with folks on just why manufacturing is so awesome?
So I want to turn it back, get the mirror facing you guys. Thank you for all you do. You are true champions of associations, MEPs, manufacturers. You're out there doing great work with the companies. And part of this story is, lack of a better word, it's the ecosystem, right? It's all of the players coming together. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for taking the time to allow us to be on this with you. And I'll end with, actually, it's the quote from one of the speakers at the Reynolds stop that we just had. And she just said it perfectly. Manufacturing is opportunity. And I think mic drop with that. That is a perfect phrase and what this is all about.
Hey, you know what? We'll just end right on that. Manufacturing is opportunity. So, guys, thank you for everybody out there joining us today. Thank you for catching us. If you missed anything, boy, go back and hit the rewind button. We had a wonderful, dynamic conversation. Jump on the bus. If you're in the state of Illinois, boy, check out the Illinois Manufacturers Association. Boy, if you're one of the few manufacturers that are not part of the association, you want to reach out to Mark and his team and get on board. If you are a manufacturer in Illinois and you're like, boy, I'm raising my hand, I could use some help, reach out to Dave Belay. Amanda was on here. They have 55 strong. Go to the IMEC website. They do all sorts of incredible, wonderful programming, education, webinars, you name it, they've got it. And so, guys, thank you. Big round of applause. Hey, let's give a big round of applause to the guys on the bus. A magical mystery tour. So,
yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to wind down. We appreciate it. We're celebrating manufacturing all month on our little program here today. So get out there and like these guys said, just go out and, you know what, give a manufacturer a big high five, give them a little fist bump, and just tell them that they're doing an awesome job. Tell them how wonderful that they are. And boy, follow IMEC and IMA on this bus tour today. So, all right, guys, we will be back here on Friday. We wish you just an amazing week. And we like to close out with this. Just be someone's inspiration, just like these two handsome guys below us here. Just be inspiring, and man, you're making the world a better place. So, all right, Mark and David, hang out with us for 1 second, and we will see you guys soon. Thank you.